Hi everybody, and thank you for joining us today. I'm joined again by Gabrielle Preston-Banks, who is a rapid transformation therapist. We spoke about 10 or 12 days ago, Gabrielle, when you kindly helped a lot of people. I know a lot of people have been in touch, certainly with me, and I hope with you, further to our first call, which was about ways to deal with stress and anxiety. And the tips that you shared have been really useful to a lot of people right now. So I really wanted to follow up with you further to the calls that we've had and the feedback we've had from everybody. And in particularly, I think you wanted to talk about some ways to help people deal with uncertainty at this moment in time, and actually allowing some happiness in your life and ways to install happiness in people's lives. I think that was something that came out of some of the conversations you've had with some clients, is that actually they're struggling to know, and is it okay to be happy, because there's so much out there and worry. And the message that you put across to your family, your children, by your own actions and the words that you use is really key. So I wondered if you could share some more advice, please. I think it's been hugely helpful to people.
Thank you, Lottie. Yeah, absolutely. And thank you for inviting me back. And you're doing an amazing job. So thank you. So yeah, I just wanted to check in with everyone and see how everyone's doing in this uncertain times, because I know I've got a lot of clients coming to me, particularly, after Boris's talk just over a week ago, that it brought up so much uncertainty. I had so many people worried about their futures, and just because the message isn't clear about what's happening and what to do and how to go forward. So I've got clients coming to me that have got their problems with their business, they've got job losses, their life's not going to plan, weddings are being cancelled, their children are stressed and they've not seen this before, and they're coping with homeschooling, relationship problems, their loved ones are sick, and maybe they've lost people as well. And I have to say, my heart goes out to each and every person. And I'm in this with you too. I've got family members that are sick and people in business, and we're all in the same boat, which is what we keep hearing. So I totally feel for everybody. And I just want to help with that uncertainty, help the best I can, and say to you the same things that I say to my clients. And because all my clients are saying, what can I do? How can I change the way that I'm feeling? And I say to them, let's look at this together, and let's change how we look at it, change how we look at it, and see how we can install some certainty in our lives, and allow yourself, the main thing is allow yourself to look at this differently. So allow that to happen. So say to yourself, what can I do to make things better now? How can I improve my situation now? And there are two things to tackle here. So one of them is the practical side. So I would say, to tackle that, we need to put plans in place. Maybe your businesses are about to reopen, or you're still waiting to hear, and you need to put plans in place. You need to start looking for a new career, maybe plan what a new job would look like. Start looking, put plans in place. Don't wait for things to happen. And maybe if your business is already open, look at how you can plan for the future in case this all happens again. But for the practical side of it, look at your finances in your home. For the practical side of it is just putting plans in place and looking at all of that, so that you've got a bit more certainty the best you can. You've got it written down. You've made some kind of plan for your future. And then we've got the emotional side. And the emotional side, it's really important to say to yourself, how can I be happy now? And allow yourself to be happy now, because we're all walking around thinking all this doom and gloom, and can we really let ourselves be happy when all these awful things are happening? But you absolutely can, because the best state for you to be in is to be happy, and not to be in this state of fight and flight, which is really damaging for your body, damaging for your health, not just for your mental health, for your body's health. And you see, In this case, we've all got two choices. So we can choose. When anything happens, there's always a choice before we have an outcome. So the choices that you've got right now is you've got this choice where you can choose to be fearful, choose to be negative, look at all the bad news all the time, be on social media, feel miserable, and just say to yourself, I'm stuck in this time, and just live in this state of fear. Or you've got number two choice, which is say to yourself, how can I make the most of this time? How can I be happy now? How can I show kindness? How can I work on me? How can I train to do something? How can I look at my business differently? And how can I become closer to my loved ones? Just how can I make the most of this time? And I would say choose this one, because this one's going to be helpful. This is so unhelpful. We've got no need for this. We don't need to be choosing this choice. We need to choose number two. And my prescription for you right now, if I was a doctor, I would say install happiness into your days. If you were sat in front of me and I was a doctor, this would be my prescription I'd be writing out for you. I'd say plan your days. When our children are at school, they've got schedules. When we're at work, we've got schedules. Don't let your days just be free. Don't let your mind be free. Take guard of your mind and plan your days and write some and schedule some happiness into those days. It's so important, and it's a ripple effect. If you're happy, the people around you will be happy. It helps everybody.
And there's that little simple thing, isn't there, about if you smile at somebody, they smile back, and little things like that, I suppose, are a tiny step in doing so.
Yeah, and it's really interesting that you've just said that, because my next point was to smile more. Absolutely. And because you see, the thing is, sometimes we smile because we're happy. But think about it. If sometimes we're happy because we smile. So exactly what you just said, you smile and you feel happy. So smile more around your children. It can be amazing for them to see you smile. Smile more around your family, your friends, strangers in the street. You could pick somebody up that's on their own and they're just going for a walk, and you smile at them and absolutely can make their day, just like you said. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'm very aware it's Mental Health Awareness Week this week, and I think their theme of this week is showing kindness. So that's, like you say, it's your ethos. It's the one thing that you would, I suppose, like you say, prescribe, which is a really nice way of putting it. But have you got any other tips, important tips that people could help if they see a friend or family member struggling right now? Have you got any advice, Gabrielle, that you could share?
Yeah, I have two actually. So one is around kindness. So one is relating to what we've just been talking about as well, this uncertainty, and then the other one is the Mental Health Week, but they're both equally as valuable. So kindness is a beautiful thing, and it's such a helpful tool if we think of it as a tool as well to help people, and not just to help mental health, help all of us. So for instance, yourself, you might be feeling overwhelmed, you might be feeling you've just got too much work to do, and you can't work out how to fill in all these forms that you've suddenly got to fill in for your business, or you've got to start looking for a new job, or you're just overwhelmed with the children being at home. And then say you have you might have a friend ring up and say, can you help me with something? And you might think to yourself, well, absolutely not. I've got far too much to do myself. And I say, drop everything, help that friend, and it's actually going to help you. So I did this myself. I felt overwhelmed. I'd got so much work to do. I was helping my clients. On top of that, I was trying to build a website, which is not my thing. And I was struggling, and and a friend asked me for some help, and I thought, I can't do that. I've got too much to do myself. And then I said to myself, no, I need to do this. And I remembered my tips. So I dropped everything. I helped them. The minute you do that, you feel like you've achieved something, you feel good about yourself, you feel like you've achieved something, your mind clears. You're not only helping your friend, you're helping yourself, because you can go back to your task and you can do it a lot clearer.
Yeah, I suppose you step away from what it is that's draining you, that's bothering you. You're only talking about hopefully 10 or 15 minutes to help a friend out, but that could be a major part to their day as well. So that's the point, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And any act of kindness is an excellent hack to shift your mind. And I've never known a person not feel better about themselves. Not just the other person, both of you are going to feel better because they've shown an act of kindness. And my final thing, so if you've got a family, so this is because it's Mental Health Week, but not just because of this, but I wanted to mention it because of that, and I think it's so important. If you've got a family member or a friend that's struggling, somebody that's suffering with anxiety, depression, loss, they're just really not in a good place. This is advice on how to help. And we all think we know how to help friends, but we don't always get it right. And it is difficult because we're not always in that headspace and we're not understanding what they're deep inside themselves in the situation, and I've been there. So I know this. And the best thing you can do for your friend is just be there and listen. And when you're there and you're listening, actually listening, so obviously not on your phone, not looking away, actually be there, listen to your friend, even if it's on the phone, and use words like, I'm here for you, I get you. I get you is so important. I understand, I'm listening. So no judgment, no advice, just listen and just use those words. I get you, I'm here for you. It's so important. And don't that all the person wants is to be seen and to be heard. They don't need the problem solved in that moment. They just want to know that somebody understands. And the most important thing not to do, which we all do and we often do, and it's reverse psychology, but it really doesn't work, that person that's in the depths of despair. Don't say things like, what about the person down the street who's got such and such, always, how we tend to say that, well, what about that person that's worse off than you? At least you haven't got this. So for instance, you might have somebody saying, my husband and I are really struggling, and you might think, well, at least you've got a husband, but it's really not the thing to say. And I know that's not very nice, but I'm just trying to stress the point. So these are the things not to say, but the thing to say is, I hear you, I've got you, I'm here for you. And my intention for all of you today is to put the message across of how to deal with all this uncertainty and be happy now. And my tips, just to round up, are plan for your future, schedule your days, install happiness, allow yourself to be happy now, smile more, show acts of kindness. It will free your mind. Listen, let your loved one knows you've got them. And above all, guard your own mind, because that's so important. Just keep guard of your mind, because your mind works with pictures and words, and it will react to whatever you show it. So you may as well show it good stuff. Show it all the good stuff, and you will have a better life. And just lastly, just know that I'm here for you, and please reach out if I can help anyone. And if this interview reaches anyone that helps them, that could mean so much to them. There could be one little message, little nugget in this interview that could help somebody, and that would mean so much to that person. So please share this interview and know that I'm here to help. My message for this week is to be aware of everybody's mental health and stay kind.
That's really positive. So thank you so much, Gabrielle. I think the one thing I can take from that is, when you see somebody you care about or love struggling, you want to help, but you don't know how to help. So often you don't reach out to them because you don't know the answers. And I think that's what right. there isn't an answer sometimes. You just got to say, I can support you and love you when I'm here. And I think that's really good. It gives people hopefully the confidence to pick the phone up, to drop a card in the post. It's something simple that just touches somebody in a really positive way without there being, I haven't got the right answers.
Absolutely, and that's beautiful. And all that person needs is to know that they're being heard and they're being saved. That and you could actually save a person's life like that. Think about that, because just by telling someone, I hear you, I see you, I get you, you could save someone's life. Actually, it really works.
Gosh, well, thank you so much, Gabrielle. Thank you for your time again today. I love talking to you and hearing, your very positive approach to and how successful you are in helping people out of some really tricky and challenging periods of time in their lives, as we're all going through in our different ways right now. So thank you again for your time. And everybody, please get in touch with Gabrielle. If you know somebody that you think might benefit from talking to her, you can contact her on Facebook, and everything, of course, is done in confidence. And she's there to help you or one of your family or friends. So please reach out to her.
Thank you, Lottie. You're doing an amazing job. So
thank you. Speak soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.